The psychology of spending. Why we buy what we don't need. Ever bought something you didn't need and then thought, why did I do that? I know I have. Here's the real kicker, we do it all the time. It's like we are programmed to waste money on things that don't even make us happy. But what if I told you that the reason you keep buying stuff you don't need is all in your brain? Stick around, and I'll show you the sneaky psychology behind it. Trust me, it's more than just impulse, it's fear, excitement, and a whole lot of tricks your brain is playing on you. By the end of this video, you'll see how to break free from this cycle once and for all. Let's dive in. By the way, ever wonder why that must-have pair of shoes suddenly feels so important? Hang tight, I'll explain in a second. Let's start with a sneaky little emotion we all deal with, the fear of missing out, or FOMO. We've all been there, right? Your friends are talking about the latest phone or the newest fashion trend, and suddenly, you feel like you're falling behind. The crazy thing is, your brain's hardwired to feel this way. It's the part of us that's designed to fit in, to be part of the group. When you see everyone else with that shiny new thing, it triggers a fear. What if I don't have it? What if I'm left out? This is where the real damage happens. You need that product now, not because you actually want it, but because you're afraid of being left behind. It's an emotional response, not a rational one. And guess what? It works. FOMO hits us in the gut, making us forget about our budgets, and bam, another purchase we didn't need. And here's the kicker, retailers know this. That's why they always release things in limited editions or offer flash sales. Suddenly, you feel an urgency to buy now or regret it later. Crazy, right? Now let's talk about excitement. We are all familiar with the thrill of getting something new. That instant hit of happiness. When you buy something, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that gets released when you eat your favorite food or get a compliment. This feeling of reward is powerful. It's instant. And for a moment, you feel like you've hit the jackpot. But here's the issue, that feeling doesn't last. The moment fades, and suddenly, you're left with buyer's remorse. Ever felt that? It's like your brain tricks you into thinking you'll be happier after the purchase, but once you've got it, the joy wears off quickly. But guess what? This cycle doesn't stop. You crave that feeling again. And so, you go out and buy more things, looking for that same thrill. The cycle repeats. And before you know it, your bank account's drained, and you're stuck in the cycle of temporary happiness that doesn't last. Okay, so let me guess. You're probably already thinking about something you bought recently. Let's put that thought on pause, though, I'll circle back to it in a sec. Let's talk about emotional spending. Ever bought something after a bad day or stressful week, just to feel better? It's more common than you think. When your brain feels negative emotions, stress, sadness, anxiety, it looks for a quick fix. And guess what your brain thinks will fix it? Retail therapy. You might not even need the item, but the moment you make the purchase, you feel a temporary relief. But what happens the next day? That relief is gone. And you're left with regret, and the cycle repeats. Emotional spending is powerful because we often make decisions when we are not thinking clearly. Our brains are literally tricking us into spending to cope with emotions, and it often leads to more harm than good. Think about this. How many things have you bought in a moment of emotional distress, only to wonder why on earth you ever needed them? The real problem isn't the spending, it's the emotional void we are trying to fill with stuff. Alright, so now you know why your brain is constantly tricking you into buying things you don't need. But here's the burning question: how do we break free from this trap? Is it even possible to escape the clutches of FOMO, excitement, and emotional spending? Well, the truth is it's not easy. But it can be done. Stay with me, because in just a few minutes, I'll reveal the one powerful technique that will help you regain control over your spending habits and make smarter decisions. Okay, now let's get into the good stuff. The secret to breaking free from this cycle is all about mindfulness and self awareness. Whenever you feel that urge to buy something, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Or am I just reacting to an emotion? It's important to be aware of the triggers, whether it's a stressful day or the fear of missing out, and stop yourself before making the purchase. Try implementing a 24-hour rule where you wait a full day before buying anything you feel an impulse to get. More often than not, the urge will pass, and you'll realize you don't need that item after all. Mindfulness will make you feel the emotional triggers without acting on them. And slowly, you'll start reprogramming your brain to prioritize your financial goals over temporary happiness. So, next time you're tempted to buy something you don't need, remember your brain is playing tricks on you. But you have the power to stop it. By being more mindful, you can break free from the cycle and start making smarter, more intentional choices with your money. But hey, if you're still curious about how to take your finances to the next level, check out my video on the power of compounding right here. Trust me, it's a game changer for your financial future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. End screen appears with clickable video suggestion for the power of compounding and a subscribe button.